Hello, viewers. I'm SB,
And I'm Amabel.
and welcome back to Amabel Goes to Forex School, where we are deep in the soup. Basically just up to our hips in soup. Notice we are now showing 2 bars of conquest on the conquestometer, indicating that we now own 10 systems and would need to own 22 in order to win the game in that way. We are in first place by this metric, which I guess is a good thing to know. If somebody else was approaching that number, that's a thing we would want to know. And
Yeah.
our growth is likely to continue because for some reason, for reasons unknown, Horatio declared war on us, and we're taking Artemis from him as a response. It has an Orichalcix deposit. We need it very badly, especially since the other Orichalcix deposit we were planning on grabbing over here got grabbed. That's fine. We'll worry about all that stuff later. For right now, yeah, I think this is our focus, getting a hold of Artemis. So can we tell from here? Okay, we can tell that he has started to work tanks into his army. We can see that. He's doing some updates. We have a hostile fleet on the way. It'll be 4 turns until they arrive. We'll send in the siege ships a little bit behind. I want to give these siege ships a couple of turns to heal, because they did have to flee from a battle not that long ago. And we have a bunch of stuff moving up to Scythe, I think, to reinforce. And then yeah, we're just continuing to improve capacities all over the Empire. In 3 turns, we will have the Endless Research Park and Endless World finished in our home system, which is just it's a lot of extra science and dust. Both things that we care about very much. And yeah, I think let's keep rolling. Our incomes are getting pretty solid. Our influence income even is kind of okay. You know what? With 10k sitting on the table, I know we were talking about we were saving up because we were talking about buying an outpost somewhere. Now that that's no longer necessary, we could buy an outpost on Alcyone, speed up our quadranix mining, but I think what I'm inclined to do is just plow this money all directly into trade companies.
Okay.
We'll get it all back soon enough. So yeah, they're both just pulling some small amount of dust deciduous trees from the in terms of luxuries. I don't really care about that, so I think we're probably not doing luxury freighters. Let's just increase dust and science incomes. Okay, and doing so has apparently there were more luxuries coming in that were just not visible before. As you can see, each successive ship in a trading company costs more. We'll give a little bit of an edge to the lower level ones so that it can catch up. And that will accelerate not only their own leveling, which will increase their own yields, but also accelerate the gain of the other trading companies. So we're allowed to build 2 more subsidiaries now. That's another thing we should be looking at. Probably Scythe and Artemis would make decent targets for those. Yeah, stuff to think about. In any case, wait a minute. I see here in Scorpius. Okay, the adamantium deposit on this system is sort of like faded out, meaning that we are not currently mining it because apparently we don't have the technology to access Arctic worlds. That's something we should maybe look into when we finish xenoanthropology. Well, we'll maybe look into that.
Okay.
So we have over here a caravel that's just exploring, continuing to look for important resources. Okay, and finding some. The atmosphere of this planet has a strange psychotropic effect. When inhaled, the sweet vapor seems to allow the subject to see exactly 4 seconds into the future. Perhaps a concentrated dose might do even more. But okay, so this fleet has gotten a little bonus vision range as a result, which is kind of cool. Also, did find some more quadronics. And also some friendly locals, and also the design for a building that produces 1/10 of an industry per defense. Okay, so it's a thing we can do with our defensive power when we're not, fighting people off. Let's shoot a probe down this way, because these star lanes must unite somewhere, and then we'll continue to investigate that way. At some point, I'd like to know what the whole system looks like, or the whole galaxy.
Yeah.
You guys are doing all right. This caravel over here, what are you up to? We know there are more planets down this way. Yeah, it might behoove us to fly a scout ship down over here. I want some more vision on what Blue's working with. Also, getting an idea of like what planets are everybody's colors and stuff will give us a good idea of when wars are occurring, right?
Yeah.
How you doing over there? You're sounding a little doped.
No, I'm just a little. So this is the first time we've done this since my computer upgrade, and like everything is so much bigger on the screen, and I can read all the little text and numbers, which I could only kind of squint at before. So like, I'm getting the information overload all over again.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, okay, I can, because often you talk about a thing and I kind of see what you mean, and now I'm like seeing what you mean, and that's a lot. Like I can see the health bar on that caravel, which I could not make out before.
Yeah, you were on quite a small screen before.
Yeah,
and we haven't moved you to anything huge, but they're proper monitors at least.
Comparatively, it's huge, and yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just like kind of like, wow.
You're okay. All right, so what's up? The church must expand or fade, as it would be blasphemy to fade. Our legions shall expand. Did you know God says it would be illegal for us to lose?
God's really into expansion, and I think we should.
The tense political rivalry between militarism and pacifism in the Kraz system has risen to emergency levels. The militarist faction has ordered the construction of an intricate system-spanning barricade between Kraz's inner and outer planets. Intra-system movement has been severely restricted, and many citizens have been cut off from their families and friends. The pacifist inner planets have petitioned you for help. So we could just ignore them, leading to, for some reason, a massive industrial increase on Kraz, and all this extra influence. But there's an 80% chance of creating a major political crisis. Or we can dismantle this, which I like here. I guess it makes a little bit more sense that you would lose industry because like some workers are busy dismantling the blockade instead of doing their jobs.
I know which one I would choose in a role-playing game.
Yeah.
In this context, yeah.
In this context, you like how important is role playing to you versus the thing that's obviously better. I'm gonna take the obviously better. I guess we'll see how bad that political crisis is.
This is often a problem, I feel like, with video game decisions. It's a little more nuanced here than the help grandma across the street, beat her up and take her money decision you get in some games, but the classic the BioShock classic, as I often like to call it, where it's like the choice is between help these little girls or crack them open and drink their spinal fluid. Gee, I wonder what our players will feel like doing. Well, because they tend to give the mechanical advantage to the bad thing.
They don't, though.
They don't.
That would be a way to do it. That would be a more interesting way to do it. In practice, the good way is almost always better, and if it's not, the degree to which it is not is so small as to be irrelevant, which is the case in BioShock.
Okay.
So we should probably start building some military vessels or something. Like, we haven't built a new ship in a while. And it does strike me that perhaps, not only are we currently at war with somebody, but also at least 2 other players are making threats. We haven't really advanced our weapons technology very much. Obviously, we don't want to be making weapons out of... we have found weapons... We've found weapons tech, which I guess is interesting. But I definitely don't want to be making weapons out of this resource in particular. So without that, yeah, we're just kind of on, like, titanium bullets and torpedoes, and that's fine. I think I'm just going to make a couple more of the thing we already have designed. We have yet to see these ships really challenged.
Yeah.
And they build pretty fast at the level of output this system now has. We're getting like a turn and a half to produce a medium vessel. And they have such like huge engines and stuff. We'll build them here, and then they'll be over at the front in like 2 turns afterward. I'm sorry
to bring things kicking and screaming back to my sad simulationist whinging, but like, if you're gonna have like the thing that's obviously better, or but pretty evil, and the thing that's not evil but sucks, and I know that reflects the viewpoint of Empire, right? But yeah. I don't know. I feel like more should be done to sit with that discomfort, and that's something that I don't think that this class of games, I'm not even going to say it particularly doesn't do, but that they just don't have an interest in doing. And maybe that's an unfair criticism, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we both live in a world where systemic horrors are incentivized mechanically by the mechanics of the world we live in, but I'm just whinging. Just move on.
Okay.
Sorry.
You got to do it in a more focused way.
I'm trying. Okay. All right.
While you were talking there, I had to dismiss 15 prompts. All right. So, new event, Boiler Room. Lobbyists for your Empire's banks have been assailing your senators for weeks with demands to ease some of the regulations on their operations. In particular, they're requesting looser restrictions on letting ordinary citizens into space travel ventures and on ensuring ships heading out for long-distance voyages. Again, this is stuff that is completely the wrong scale. Like,
yeah,
I'm essentially God. Why would I be involved in this decision? And unfortunately, it is like, mechanically, it's kind of the same thing. It's like 20 dust on each system in the Empire for 10 turns. Fucking, whatever, man. Deny them, get some approval. Maybe that'll turn into science. We'll see. Some planet somewhere might have been pushed over. Yeah, look at that. Scythe went over the ecstatic barrier because of that. That outpaces the dust cost of doing that, for sure. So I wanted to issue a move order to the siege fleet, because we saw this medium. Oh, that's not even a medium Horatio vessel. That's a big ship. Okay, Horatio's trying. This is gonna be interesting. And in order to quickly issue that order at the beginning of the turn, I did have to minimize just a crazy number of notifications. Just again, there's too much. They throw too much stuff at you. So we did hack Artemis here. We can send their hero home. We can mess with their ground battle plays. I mean, I don't think we're quite at the place where we want to do that. Yeah, just like blowing up their hero, I think seems pretty reasonable. Purple has moved a great big military ship into the area. That's a thing that's interesting. You have a Horatio population in your empire, the Ugly Plague. And they come with a certain preconception as to what beauty is. In fact, they are throwing down their pens and makeup kits in frustration at having to live alongside all these other, uglier species. Whether it is a refusal to work or simply a moment of pique, they are insisting that you remove all other species from planets that have Horatio population. Though it is unlikely that they will riot in the streets as they are not generally that rowdy, they are perfectly capable of staying at home and crippling your production. The unhappy Horatio are located in the Zorak system. So, if we do resettle and end up with two systems with only Horatio population, they'll chill out and we'll get some influence. If we tell them to go fuck themselves, who are running an empire, not a kindergarten, improve the tools of production and they'll get back to it, I don't know that that makes a lot of sense, frankly. But improve production, get free research seems like an obvious winner over an amount of a resource that like we wouldn't even notice. This is such a weird thing because like a technology is a meaningful chunk of something, and this is a rounding error in a resource you can't even spend directly.
So I have a question.
Yeah, 242.
That quest
That's a little bit of a gain.
Does seem to be very like it does comport with the Horatio within the fiction of the game, but is that a Horatio specific quest, do you know, or would other species?
No, there's art.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, no, the most popular, I think most populations have a quest that is specific to their vibe.
Okay.
That's the thing they've been doing since Endless Legend, right? We saw some of those.
Right.
All right, I think I am going to go ahead and just check these, even though this isn't our system. We want to know. We want to know what's out there. Okay, so it's a couple more luxury resources. That's pretty whatever. Send the ship back home. All right, so we are going to have to... the Horatio hacked Scythe, and they're attacking it at the same time. I assume they probably did the ground hack, the ground tactics hack, which we'll have to, fight off. It's fine. We'll deal. We have those we have those new medium ships coming pretty soon. So let's have a look at the situation. Right now, they have this large ship with nearly 10,000 offense power. And we have these shuttles. We probably should just retreat our shuttles. This is definitely not a situation where we could possibly win that battle. And we did finish our research. So let's take a moment to look at what that means. We finished xenoanthropology here. This has given us the ability to build some extra influence buildings, reduction in our total expansion disapproval. That's all like fine. It's all good. It's all whatever. We are very close to having access to our own large ship designs. We need 2 more techs of this level. And I don't think it really helps us to pursue... Yeah, we have access to another medium ship design we could try to figure out. We could improve our small designs. I mean, I don't really want to go up against their large ship with improved small ships, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're just going to try to push forward on the ability to create and join alliances. That seems significant. We're going to push forward on this, get 2 more tiers in, and then research our own large vessels.
Okay.
Our science output is pretty good and getting better. So yeah, we should burn through these real fast. And I said before that it didn't seem like we really needed new ship designs or to update our stuff with better weaponry. But It's a big boat that he put out there. What are the
Well, he
defensive
got
stats of
that
that
boat
thing?
for free, right?
So this is
As
the
a gift.
yeah, this is the Bastion, yeah. So it's
Why would they give him a gift? He sucks.
mostly energy defenses. Where is here the Academy? I want to bring up the Academy diplomacy menu, which is on one of these screens. They did a bunch of here it is. So this thing with the Academy roles, 11 turns left on that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, he's not. Horatio is not listed among the assigned roles. That is not. Did he? Was he gifted this ship? I don't know where this ship came from. The important thing is it's here and we have to fight it. So you can see it has some squadrons there below the manpower and the fleet points. He is running 8 fighters and 2 bombers in his big ship. He's also, it looks like, got a behemoth on the way out, although his behemoths are specialized for science. Over here at Ash, I was gonna build another big science thing, but I'm wondering if we maybe want to redirect a little bit. I do really want to be like just pumping science like crazy. We need a lot of research. Yeah, we'll continue doing that in Ash. Like Kraz is our sort of our forward manufacturing center. And we're working on getting Zorak kind of built up in that same way, a little bit. So, Scythe has some proper defensive structures. There's not too much more we can do on that front. We're going to pick up AI labor and make it even more effective at production. And then, yeah, this will be a pretty good place to pump out ships eventually. We can build ships down on the ground in the shipyard without them necessarily having to fight. I'll put one in the queue. But yeah, a lot of this is going to come down to whether we can mass up enough mediums to scare the big ship off. Oh right, and because our hack completed from Artemis to Scythe, we can start another one. Which we sure want to do. All right, he's not going to the ground assault right away. He does have 1,000 manpower in that ship, but his 1,000 manpower actually is not in a great position against our 600 defense because we can, we can draft population, and our troops are better overall. Okay, we have lost Generation Gamma. That's whatever. Population continues to be born. The hero on our home system is leveling up into the really high tiers now. So, we can pick up, +3 industry for every population point in the system. That's exciting. 40 dust per hot, +20 approval in total. I mean... or 20 influence. I mean, I kind of think I want to take the production points, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's probably a bunch of stuff. There is. I'm not going to say probably. There is a bunch of stuff I could be doing to kind of, like, min-max us here.
Yeah.
But it's a little... I mean, it's a little challenging to care about.
No, I understand.
Wanting to cut through, like... cut down into each of these things and optimize them, and then like, we've hit some population bonuses, right? So it would be best if we made sure every system had a Lumeris,
right?
But micromanaging the population to that degree, sending ships out from this spaceport to make sure the entire system is blanketed in Lumeris and stuff, it's a little annoying to actually do in practice.
Yeah. When you first started showing me this game so many episodes ago, I really had a sense of it as being it felt less granular. It felt less fiddly, less micromanagey, and it does feel like if it's going on, there's actually a lot more of that
Yeah, it
than
felt
the
like
terrestrial one.
there was less to do because we didn't have so many things yet.
Yeah.
All right, right now our
Uh,
fleets max out at 17 command points. So we could jam 5 medium vessels into a single fleet. That would be 35,000 total HP. Um but with only roughly half of the firepower. A little bit more than half of the firepower of this one ship. The good news is that since we're using bullet weapons, we have a sort of a natural flak effect going on. So the enemy, the enemy fighters and bombers strategy is probably not actually super effective there.
mhm.
A lot of them would get sort of incidentally destroyed. You can just continue looking around over here. Okay, Citadel blueprints coming up. I mean, the researches are coming pretty quickly. We'll have access to our own large ships soon enough. Unfortunately, all of the vessels that I had ordered to move to Scythe have to get there, get scared off by the big ship, retreat, fall back to Zorak, get repaired.
Yeah.
Okay, Academy power has increased. An empire's ability to react is proportional to the volume of its production. Sure. If one can build quickly, one can strike, defend, and strategize with ease. Slower producing and thus slower moving. This is just the same sentence again. Okay. Produce the most industry in the galaxy for a reward that is like an irrelevant amount of dust, and then probably an amount of antimatter that actually probably does matter. Hey, look at that. We did the thing. I wasn't even paying attention. We did it accidentally. Cool. Our systems are kind of just growing, like, even without us
Yeah.
paying attention to them, because population's happening, stuff's finishing.
And hot take, I think that's fine if it's not constantly asking you to pay attention to it. You know? That's my hot take. How hot is that take?
I don't know. I think it's fine no matter what.
That's my cold take.
Okay. Yeah, y'all should probably back out. Sorry that I told you to go there. That's on me. Okay, so we have now arrived at Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
The Riftborn are blockading Artemis right now. And they've got so you see this big red bubble effect? This is the Riftborn have placed a dilation singularity. They have some minor control of the flow of time.
Oh,
And
okay.
you can see here they are fucking with his resource outputs and stuff. But since they are blockading, they're preventing me from getting my vastly superior blockade. Like I can't attack because the system is effectively being guarded. And part of the thing that's going on there is that we are not formally allies.
Hmm.
Is that the tech I'm working on right now, or we? Yes. Okay. So next turn we can form an alliance with them. They are still taking the planet is still taking the siege damage from our siege vessels, so they're going to be out of defenders real fucking fast here. And yeah, we need to negotiate that alliance, which we will be doing very shortly. We have a ton of influence. All right, so you guys are doing that thing. You guys are gonna hole up here. Just guard this system.
Okay. I want to take a bet from you. How
Okay.
many notifications do you think we're going to get this turn?
I
Or
mean,
this
and
turn?
again, like I can minimize. Like it doesn't have to
Okay.
be like this. I have it like this
I know.
for effect.
I'm going to guess 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one came right after the beginning of the turn, but yeah, that's pretty good. All right, we have finished the technology. We finished this, which has increased the damage of our air troops and lowered the manpower cost of our air troops. We might mix some air in because we're starting to see tanks from the opponents now.
Okay.
Although their mixture being still heavily infantry, I guess, discourages that to some degree. Let's merge y'all together. Okay, the event Hear My Last Cry has come to an end. Minus 10% science on the whole empire. It's a little bit more meaningful. That's something I care about. We have gained control of this solar nebula. It is now within the influence area of our system, and so we are gaining the extra dust effect here, which is pretty cool. Over here on Takim, we have finished the microwave pipes, and so this system is like kind of productive now. It's sort of doing a good job building things. So we have 2 cold and sterile worlds, 1 cold and 1 hot. It doesn't make for the best spot for like AI labor. Graviton shielded laboratories, which we have because of the technology that we just got for free, are going to be good pretty much everywhere. That's just a lot of raw science output. I think we do want to start this tier by researching our own large ship design, which will take 5 turns to get active. And then let's see about that alliance.
A warm welcome, friend. We Riftborn begin to see the beauty in this universe.
This player is currently at war. If you form an alliance with him, you will declare war against red and green. Okay, I mean that seems being at war against green's not totally ideal, but we got the forges pumping. Is this really perfectly neutral, or is it just not showing us an answer? I'm a little nervous about that. I guess suggest terms is not available, so we're not negative. I think let's just see how you feel.
Thank you for
okay, they're into it.
Maybe true bonds can form between all races, even those separated by great gulfs of time and space.
These are going to be angry messages from the players they're at war with. Oh, no. Alliance update. Cabal of the Black Nebula. Yeah, your alliances get cool names automatically. I forgot about that. That's pretty rad.
That is a pretty cool name.
We will send military help soon. You know, honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. So now that we're working together here, we can, I believe. Well, I still can't do the ground attack. Oh, he's got ships in the air now, but we can start some shit with his fighters. He's got a single badly damaged medium vessel, and the rest of this stuff is inconsequential. The rest of this stuff is going to get swatted. I know how you love to watch a space battle.
Yeah. Oh, it's be so big on my screen.
That is true. Okay, he's team spirit, he says. Everybody forward, maximum morale, just shoot as hard as you can. I like it. I like the enthusiasm. Look at those Horatio boats. Alright, our ships have jumped in. Let's get in here. Turn on the scan view. Alright, probably speed this up a little bit so we get into weapons range. There we go. Yeah, unfortunately for him, we outgunned him so massively. Over here, he did manage to have the wherewithal to put his medium vessel up against our smaller flotilla. He was probably able to figure out what we were going to do there by our weapon ranges. But that's not, I think, going to be saving him. Notice, though, he's using bullet weapons, and very few of our missiles are actually reaching his ship because the ballistics are able to just shoot them down in the air. He has taken a lot of crossfire. He's the only focus for the entire fleet at this point, so he's still going down, I think. Okay. A decisive victory. And from that victory, 2,000 dust and 5,600 science. Because we're running not just science from scrap, but also remember that law, and we're very salvage focused here. Concerning the military personnel involved in this action, made the relatively low number of 338 victims. Their string builder didn't quite build the string on that one. But now that that's done, the system is still being guarded. Am I not allowed to ground attack through his... I mean, I guess it's not a big deal right now, but in a second here, I'm going to expect you to get out of the way there, friend. I don't know if there's a way for me to ask them nicely to move on. Presumably, once there are no defenders left, something will happen. His military behemoth actually is almost dead. You should retreat. I know that you can ping. Yeah, you can ping, and I think the AI allies actually do respond.
Okay.
So I'm gonna set a defensive ping here. We'll see if we can draw some of his. Maybe his behemoth will fall back to that. We are now formally at war with Vega, so that's the thing we got to be a little bit more wary of. We are being blockaded now by this single scout ship. I don't really have a lot of spare ships around here. I mean, obviously, we could just run a frigate over there real fast and run them off.
So I have a question that's relating more to the genre as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I've noticed with these various games we've played is that while we don't always have visibility as to who has what where, once we're within visibility, we do seem to get perfect information about their units and their capabilities. Is that common throughout is that just the genre convention that if you're gonna, have a fight with someone, all the stuff they got? Do you ever see it done different ways in
yes, there I mean there will be ideas of like stealth units that will contribute to a battle while not being like visible on the pre-battle screen to a certain extent. It's not like there is stealth and counterintelligence stuff does exist, and those systems are more or less impressive depending on the game.
Yeah.
They're not a super huge part of this game, I wouldn't say.
Yeah. I do think here the each player picking a defensive or offensive posture or tactic is an interesting wrinkle, but that gives a little bit of meat. But I was just curious.
Okay. Cetus has successfully been hacked. We're certainly not planning a ground attack on Cetus anytime soon. So I'm just going to embed a sleeper. We're just going to steal a small amount of resources from them for the moment. Good old Burra Tech Seeker here is leveling up, and he is on Scythe. So this is a system that does have hot planets for sure. Yeah, let's grab some of this. We're going to want to run another similar hack, I think, although at this point we can stop at Vega and get some stuff done now that they own Vega. Over here, let's just run off this scout. I'm sure it's just going to run. It did not run. It failed to retreat and was destroyed. Oh, there's nowhere to run to. Right. Retreat requires there to be a friendly node. Where would they have gone? Wow, Justium, look at that. It's got all of the fancy resources. What a good system.
I see the resources now.
I really wish that we had gotten that. Okay, so this is becoming an issue. I really do need you to get out of the way. There's no ability to coordinate with them to that degree. Like, I can't ask them to move an individual fleet, I don't think. Yeah, I can't go into guard mode because they're already in guard mode. So we may as well send a probe down here and just see if we can figure out what else Horatio is working with in the area. But I can't make a ground attack if they're guarding, and if they're not going to make a ground attack. I mean, they can't make a ground attack. This ship has no manpower. This is an unmanned vessel. They need to get this thing out of here, or it needs to get destroyed or something, and I don't think we can coordinate with them to that degree.
Greetings. Your hospitality is appreciated.
Can I borrow your vessel? Is there an option in here that's like, let me drive your ships for a second? There is not. Yeah. That's really annoying because I could take this over if you weren't here. This is another one of those, like, you know, I've talked several times now about how one of the core problems with these games is that the AI is just not smart enough to play them. And that manifests in, like, your opponents not being very good at fighting you. Certainly. But it also manifests in stuff like this, where your ally won't do the thing that's obviously best for both of you. And there's no way to like talk them into it or through it. It's just, you have to wait for them to decide randomly to start playing the game better. It's not really the place I would like to be in right now. Alright, he's running additional ships over to Saif. So it looks like he probably does plan to do a ground attack. I actually could really use some help here. I'm gonna also put down an attack ping. Hey guys. Hey Purple, move some ships in this direction, please. Well, apparently we've hit 80% exploration with our new probes and whatnot. All right, down in Wyrix, we have some ability to build trade stuff. I guess maybe Wyrix could be the site of another headquarters. It's not, like, totally ideal. Oshi should be the site of another headquarters, actually. Wyrix is a little too close to the headquarters and to the subsidiaries to, like, really run a good trade route, I think. We can build some microwave pipes here and just kind of make it better at everything. Actually, we can give it that level 3 modernization. Here we just have to wait. Maybe if I bounce. He's running over defensive vessels, but they're, like, tiny. What I'm thinking is that this ship is so fucked up that maybe if we leave, Horatio will manage to defeat it in combat.
Mm-hmm.
And his scientific behemoth here is not terribly impressive. I don't even know where these ships came from, because they definitely didn't come past Artemis. So this little group that he ran over here to play limited offense with, I'm not sure what their situation is. Still bleeding slowly. In 3 turns, we'll have a full modern fleet of frigates we can send down. We're generating a pretty decent amount of science here, so like I'm inclined to, continue pushing on that front, but it sure does take a long time to build stuff out here. I mean, whatever. That system exists mostly for the quadranix mining. Doesn't really hurt us if it's not doing anything huge. With the frigate finishing here... Okay, we're actually going to launch from Kraz to push on Scythe next turn, I think. And I think I'm going to leave Artemis because I can't affect anything here. So I want to move out our siege ships 1 turn behind the actual war vessels. Both because they can't really defend themselves and also because they're a little bit faster than the war vessels. So if we have them leave at the same time, they'll get there first and thus be, ripe for assault. Okay, this way they should get there at the same time. We discovered Horatio Prime down there. Oh, Horatio probably doesn't own that much more territory in total. This finally happened. Remember this system, Ova, way out on the edge of the galaxy?
No, I don't remember this at all. It's been a while.
This.
Wow.
That finally bloomed.
Why are we over there?
Because I thought at the time we thought it might have resources. And also, I was just like looking around for places to settle because we wanted to expand more. Everything about the game has changed so much since we made that decision. Plus 30% science output for Kraz, sure. Why not? What is Kraz's science output? I know it's our most industry productive system. Honestly, it's science output not bad either. All right, we're going to pop out this set of ships. We also had this other frigate arrive from kind of nearby. Let's run y'all down to Zorak, and then we'll mass up and push Scythe. I think we're not going to beat that large ship, but I do think we can do a bunch of damage to it. And I hate to be this mercenary about it, but we can build a bunch more medium vessels so quickly. If we end up just trading all of our medium vessels for some damage on his thing, I'm fine with it. Oh, we have a bunch of dust in the bank. I should be continuing to roll upgrades into our trading companies. All right, got our tech. They've arrived here. Let's put up a big fight against his scientific behemoth. Look at the size of the thing. Okay, he's gonna stand and do battle. It doesn't have very impressive guns. At 1800 offense output, most of it energy, it's actually only a little bit better armed than one of our medium frigates. But, as you are going to see here in a second, the name Behemoth is appropriate.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, actually, I kind of want to watch this from its side so that we can get the HP readout. Hold on, if I pull through here, yeah, we'll get the readout on the other side. I'm a little worried that we might lose a medium vessel in this, but you can see it's bleeding HP quite rapidly. This thing is 10 command points by itself, so if we did take it down, it would be worth a fair amount of science and dust to us. Because it's mostly using energy weapons and it's very focused on our middle flotilla, it's having trouble countering the missile attacks from our smaller ships, so we're getting full damage from those, which is nice. I should have put both of our... Wow. There's that black hole not too far away. I should have put both of our mediums in the middle flotilla. I don't know what I was thinking. Because that middle flotilla is going to be in close range for like the whole battle. And we are not getting maximum damage here. But okay, it looks like it's probably going to fail to kill anything. And it's going to end up real low on health. Oh, are we going to maybe get there? Yeah, actually we did get there. Also, I think the game engine can't quite handle all of this stuff that's occurring. So yeah,
it seemed to sputter a bit.
Pretty good output there.
You know, presentation-wise, this game is really gorgeous. I wish it was less soup. You know?
Yeah, and like I don't want to overstate the degree to which I think the soup is like a big deal, because I think the game remains perfectly playable. Right? Obviously, I have a lot of hours of endless space over my many years here on YouTube. It is not the worst thing in the universe. As your fleet, the fourth leverage venture, orbits the system, a strange blip appears on the radar. Your crew watches in amazement as an ancient passenger ship of some bipedal species origin passes right across your fleet's sensors. Further scanning reveals that it is an antiquated generation ship, a sublight craft inhabited only by cryogenically preserved pioneers. So we can just let them be, just let them float past, headed to wherever they're headed. Or we can follow alongside and gain access to their computers. Just take a little peek. Just take a little peek at what's going on here. I mean, I kind of want to know.
No, yeah, I get that.
All right, so our ship doesn't get to move while that's happening. We also discovered... Okay, we discovered some crew support modules for putting more manpower on a vessel. Pretty high tier stuff as well. Okay, we continue to build. We're gonna probably just want to put up... we finished our large ship design.
Okay.
So, we need to research 3 more things of this tier to unlock the ability to build the obelisks of all space-time.
Which is still how we're trying to win,
Okay. Citadel basic upgrades. Cultural invertics will allow us to not only increase our expansion disapproval threshold even further, but it'll give us a building that can only be built on systems that are level 4, and each copy of that building also increases our overcolonization limit. So we could, in theory, eventually completely remove the overcolonization penalty. I do think that's interesting, at least. We need 3 more techs after that. This technology would give us additional module slots and manpower capacity on our mediums. I think that's okay. What is untraceable markets? Gives you the ability to build a thing that gives... Okay, yeah, you know what? That seems like 3 fine technologies. So let's take a second and have a look at that large ship design. Just again to get some sort of numbers here. 7,600 health, 1,220 offense, 1,600 defensive power on our medium. Our large vessel has 12,000 offensive power with no modifications, just with the base modules. So these things are like another terrifying shift in power level, up from where we already were. Also, they look rad, although the missiles they're shooting seem to not be too sharp. Now, like I said, we don't really have a lot of fantastical weapon technology. We haven't spent time really researching it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just strip this thing entirely. Okay. So we have some of these slots that can bear squadron modules. If we wanted to try to use some of those squadron things we picked up from various quests, I am inclined to just stick to the bullets. We have one. We also have here a heavy mount slot, which will accept a heavy version of the module we put into it, which will double the cost and effectiveness of that module. So, like, this would be the place where you would install slugs made of orichalcics if you were going to do such a thing. How much of an improvement is this over our other technologies? These don't have a base value of 84 DPS compared to 65 for the titanium ones. It's really not that much better. I don't think we're gonna do. I'll just do the strategic resource slugs in that one very improved slot. We'll do normal bullets everywhere else. I do like the idea of just like staying close to the enemy and pounding them. It seems to be working really well, and Horatio seems reluctant to engage at that range. And then that leaves us with 3 support slots and 3 defensive slots. We're seeing a lot of energy weapons, I feel like. Question is, do I want to... We could just... It turns out there's 4 defensive slots here. We could just run those evenly. I might want this to be an engine. Like, I definitely want to run a ram scoop. If we put in another ram scoop, I don't know if this bonus stacks multiple times. But if it does, this gives us 8 movement points with pretty terrifying stats. I kind of do want the extra movement distance, I think. Make all of these slots just engine bays. All right, if we build it like that, we're looking at a 5-turn construction time. Honestly, not that bad. And it's worth noting that, just like by the raw numbers, it's quite a bit better than this ship that Horatio's using to harass us. So,
okay,
I think that's probably pretty strong. I'm gonna build a trade company subsidiary here. You know, maybe I should just get on building one of these. Well, let's build the subsidiary first. Let's buy out the subsidiary first, and then focus on this line. Yeah, I guess that's maybe not like super valuable while the planet's being blockaded. Let me send a probe down here. Is it still the case that purple is just blockading that system and rescuing it from me? And then we gotta decide, do we want to try to meet our oncoming ships over here? Well, if we do, we're not going this turn. All right, and back on Takim, we completed the new science building. Takim is outputting quite a lot of science. Xenotourism's not like awesome. We don't have... Here, you know what we should do? We should specialize these planets. We don't yet have our science specialization completed. And we could certainly use it. I think I'm going to leave these guys here for one more turn. Hopefully the probe will get close enough to Artemis to see if that behemoth is still there. Our backup fleet of frigates should arrive at Zorak this turn, which means that next turn they could hit Scythe, probably. Yeah, it looks like actually they have bailed. Okay, that effect has ended. That effect has ended. Stuff that's going on that you don't even remember was going on. Discovered some nebular clouds out there. So yeah, if we push to Artemis, we could take Libra, and we could probably just remove Horatio from the game entirely. It seems like it would not be a problem. I don't know if that's necessary, but it is an option. I mean, like, getting rid of him probably is worthwhile because it means that's one less angle we have to watch. Like, he's going to continue to attack us as long as he remains in the game. Every time he thinks he has a little bit of a military buildup, he's going to have at us, and I really don't want to be dealing with it all the time.
Yeah.
Let's build some more vessels for our trading fleets. How effective is it exactly is another, like, it's a very squishy notion. Like, I couldn't tell you how many points of science we're going to get because I upgraded the trading companies, you know? All right, the situation in Kraz, your divided system, has gone from bad to worse. The militarist portion has implemented stringent and oppressive laws, and violent demonstrations have erupted in several major cities. Meanwhile, your pacifist portion is suffering from a sluggish industry and economy. The two portions of your system have developed different flags and national identities. At this point, you have no idea what would happen if you were to forcefully take down the barricade. So we can do that, and it'll zero out production on Kraz for 10 turns, which I don't want. Or we can take half production. Like, this is a really annoying time for this to happen. And again, like, even though it is a major effect on Kraz, it's also a little bit whatever, in the sense that I don't think it's going to affect our overall war effort or progress toward the victory conditions in general very much. What do I want to build here? So we have our science buildings, I guess. A national museum. Could produce some extra influence. Maybe get some fancier laws going in a second here when we have another election. All right, so unfortunately with that event, it is slowing down the design of the output of our large ships. But I don't think it's slowing it down enough to matter all that much. Oh, Horatio's vessels seem to have left. All right, well, let's get down here and... Oh, no, okay, they're still there. I couldn't see them from the ground vessels, I guess. Or from the stuff that was in the hangar. Well, I will not attack if he's not going to attack. The whole node is unresponsive. That's what he did with his hack. He blacked us out. That's why we lost vision of his ships. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I think we're in a good position here, violence-wise. I'll wait for more ships to arrive from the rest of the galaxy. We may as well send this extra frigate as well. Because if he's not going to attack, what he's doing is he's just giving us a chance to mass up more ships to resist him with, right? We want to put up as much of a fight as possible when the fight actually happens.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's not launching the battle suggests to me that he doesn't think that he is going to win it cleanly. Oh. Yeah, sure. Oh, right. The blackout on safe means it's no longer... The hack that was running from there also gets dumped. That's fine. I don't think that matters. All right, so he is trying to build up ships. He's got a couple of things in the hangar on Artemis. But now that purple's not in the way anymore, I think we should be able to deal with Artemis very quickly. All right, enough of that stuff. Let me just get over here.
We're on turn 100.
We are on turn 100.
That's a lot of turns.
It is a lot of turns. All right, battle at Artemis. I mean, his ships are small and weak and a joke. We're not watching this battle. See, he's developing cloaking technology and stuff. He's trying to be clever. He's trying to be in the way. Wow, he refilled the manpower of the system completely. He must have run in new vessels. Like he filled ships with manpower and trucked in all of the soldiers in that way. That's fine. We can hang out here and just do battle. Okay. Events are coming to an end. All right, as your fleet orbits the system, a strange blip appears on the radar. Your crew watches in amazement as an ancient passenger ship of apparently human origin passes right across your fleet's sensors. Yeah, that's not new text. So, we can alter their course. They're headed straight into a nearby star. Apparently someone made a miscalculation somewhere. We can loot them for an amount of resources that, again, is basically like a rounding error. Or we can take plus 20 approval on the whole empire.
Yeah, let's do that. I'd feel better doing that.
Again, like the moral and role-playing stuff aside, like it's just one of those is mechanically obviously correct. So I do the one that's better for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. An anti-hero with 1,000 faces. It requires a great deal of structure and order to build ships and execute business across the galaxy, and all of that while handling the affairs of billions of citizens. Precision and control are paramount. Without them, things could crumble into chaos. A terrifying thought. Boy, that is a real Empire way of expressing that idea, huh?
Yeah.
The idea that you need all of this control. Nobody can get to do things. You must be the only one with agency. That's pretty fucked. However, there is an agent of chaos loose in the galaxy, a strange being from a little-known species, known only as the Photo Bomber. His pranks, thefts, and intrusions are destabilizing financial institutions and police forces on many systems. Every time the law comes close, the Photo Bomber slips away to appear somewhere else, in a new disguise, peddling new tricks, and stealing new treats. It is time to put an end to this. It is time to impose a bit of order on the Photo Bomber's worrying activities. Again, this is so not a thing that I am... Do you know whose office you walked into?
Yeah.
All right, here's another thing. In 20 turns, ensure that the population from minor civilizations does it. Whatever, I don't... For 500 dust and 75 influence, there are not words for how little I care. All right, he has chosen to attack us at safe, and we shall answer. What is this other battle? We're getting attacked by pirates. Okay, I accidentally drove our scout ship into a pirate base. We should be able to retreat here because there's a neutral node to flee to.
Okay.
And then I'm actually just going to run to Uva for repairs. Okay, let's have a look at this. So, his ship is outfitted for kind of all-range combat. It's good at fighting at every distance. I think we're gonna maximize the number of our ships that are up close. Having extra flotillas is worth. You get a morale bonus for out flotillaing your opponents. I don't remember exactly what it is, and it's not. I'm not seeing the effect anywhere here. So I think we want to maintain 3 instead of pulling everybody into the middle. But obviously, the ships that are, our ships do 95% damage at short range. The ships that are in this middle flotilla are the ones that are doing the real damage.
Okay.
It might be worth it to just run everybody down. Yeah, let me try this. We'll just get in close with everybody and really have at them. I'm actually kind of curious how this is going to go. The balance of power bar has our portion slightly fuller, but mathematically that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That doesn't seem like the math. The ship's pretty cool looking, I guess. Get a little bit lower here.
It's the name of a video game, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay.
You can see his bomber was shot down in the air immediately. Okay, I think we made the right call here. Look at the fucking barrage damage that we are doing. We shot down his squadron ships immediately. Bullets are a very good damage type in my opinion. They just have a lot of things going for them incidentally. The flak effect, where they sort of accidentally disable enemy boarding pods and enemy fighters and enemy bombers and enemy missiles while also doing their full job, is a really powerful package of abilities, and they don't really lose very much for all of that juice. Like, the only thing is that when you start a battle with somebody, let me split these up a little bit.
Did I see you turn off the battle?
Yeah, we're not watching this.
Watch battle.
He just ran away. It's not a big surprise. Yeah, the only real downside is that being at close range means you often don't get to choose your range for the whole battle, because the flotillas start at the highest range that anybody picked for that lane. But even so, you still get the full defensive benefit of like them shooting down missiles as the missiles approach them, and I don't know. Bullet weapons have just always been my favorite for this game's combat system. Okay, we got an election going. Right now, the militarist party is obviously getting a lot of support. We're doing a lot of military actions out there in the system. I kind of think that I would like to put some juice behind the industrialists. It would probably be best if we were pacifist industrialists right now. As much as I am enjoying the extra science and dust output we're getting from that battle salvage law, I'm just going to drop a bunch of dust here. I'm hoping that the industrialists don't surpass the pacifists. I would like to... I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world. All right, we're going to get 1 billion pacifist votes. It looks like the militarists are still... yeah, they're still in front of the industrialists a little bit. Yeah. Okay. The boost was significant, but it wasn't enough. Just too much militarist sentiment created by all of the military actions that we're doing. And so it turns out we may not even need these large ships, but also it's a good idea for us to, we just have to research stuff that's on this tier, right? Okay, the Academy sees that you have not been aiding in intergalactic efforts to develop its projects. That's true. That has been the case. In my defense, we haven't had any dust. And I'm eager to contribute on the next one. We have really good income now. Took a while to build up is all. All right. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I wanted to get our big legendary building finished. I think we're in really good shape as we sort of press toward the end here, but we're going to be in the soup pressing toward the end for a little while longer. We have, in my opinion, essentially secured our source of auric calcix, but we're still going to need to generate an awful lot before we can build the number of obelisks that we need. And also, once it's clear that we're winning, I expect to see a little bit more effort from some of our opponents as far as stopping us. So the game's not totally in hand yet. We're not going to make any more decisions this turn here. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the thing. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. This little push from Horatio is the most pushback we've seen from, like, the greatest amount of effort we've seen from any of the other players as far as trying to impede us from winning goes, and it really wasn't very much, was it?
No, but he's kind of a. I mean, I know it's the AI, but also I just feel like he's kind of a dork.
Yeah.
I don't assume competence from him.
Okay, no, that's fair. I can see where you're coming from there. Yeah, the Nakalim in theory have a more serious military and might be able to get a thing done here or there. I know that they were attacking some of Purple's stuff. We'll come back in and check that out. Our war against Red is about to end. We're about to be done with Horatio. So the other war that we got ourselves involved in, maybe this will give us something to focus on while all of our science and industry meters just slowly tick upward. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.